Let's get to our guest. She is the former head of Wisconsin's Economic Development Corporation, a.k.a., as my friend Kristin put in the notes, WEDC. She is Missy Hughes. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here.
All right, so, this is sort of a throwaway question, but why you and why now running for the Democratic nomination for governor?
You know, I am so excited to have announced yesterday that I'm running for governor, and I'm doing it because I love the people of Wisconsin so much. Over the course of working for farmers and working for economic development all around the state, I've gotten to meet so many incredible people. And the idea of being able to keep serving them and helping them have lives where everybody can be prosperous and vibrant is just so exciting to me.
So I was a big fan of WEDC, still am, and I, as a former mayor known for development, I appreciate that we have people working on our behalf. So what of those skill sets from that position sort of translate to running for governor?
I think there's really two sides of it. One side, we did incredible work on main streets all around the state. In every county, we helped bring businesses to empty storefronts and really fill up main streets. And, I think our communities and our main streets are the heart of our economy and our state. But then on the other side, I've really worked a lot with big businesses, and we've gotten some great investments in Wisconsin, whether it's Milwaukee Tool or Eli Lilly, and really excited to continue to create great jobs for Wisconsinites.
So as far as that aspect of it, because I think you're kind of filling the non-politician lane. That's a lot of what I heard yesterday in your rollout of, I'm not a politician. I'm not here for the divisive politics. I want to get things done. I want to focus on the economy. But in the same breath, because you're not a politician, and I think unless you work in business, not a lot of name recognition for as far as people not being unfamiliar with you. And so as far as in this rollout of trying to get people to know you and know what it took to do your job, how do you feel like you're going to approach that?
Well, I love that Steve mentioned being a mayor, because as I go around to communities, definitely people are really aware of the work that economic development does around the state. And it's just a matter of translating that to remind them that that's Missy, and that's, how all of this happened over the course of the last 6 years. But also with working for farmers around the state, I have a really strong presence in the dairy industry. I got to go to the Wisconsin Cheese Ball on Friday night, which is
always
amazing.
Fun.
If you ever want to go to the Cheese Ball, you should go to the Cheese Ball. And, just got to see some old friends in the dairy industry who are really excited to have somebody running for governor who understands how you get from the farm all the way to the shelf. So, I think that while it feels like I've got definitely some work to do on name recognition, I also think I have something that I can really ground people with as far as my experience.
So let's talk policy and sort of politics. The rise of the data centers across the state of Wisconsin. Kristin and I have talked a lot about this because I'm really into AI now. I spend most of my time researching all of that, what it means, artificial general intelligence. But data centers are a fact of life here in Wisconsin. From a policy perspective, as governor, what would you sort of say about the rise of data centers and their impact, not just on business, but the citizens who live around these centers?
I think that data centers have really evolved over the course of the last few years, as we've seen them from years ago when we thought they were big boxes that made noise, to a much more sophisticated conversation now. They create incredible amounts of jobs when it comes to construction. And then, when you're looking at these large data centers that we're seeing in southeast Wisconsin and around the state, they actually do create long-term jobs for folks to be able to have family-sustaining careers. So I think that, it's interesting. We need to keep thinking about the environmental impacts of the data centers. We need to be super aware of that. And as we've seen the data centers come up around Wisconsin, the administration, Governor Evers, we've been really, really involved in making sure that we're checking the boxes when it comes to things like water and wetlands and making sure those things are protected.
What about energy consumption?
Energy consumption is really big with the data centers. There's no denying it. I think that there's also going to be an unlocking of new resources for energy. We see incredible research coming out of UW-Madison around energy creation. And so I think it's actually going to push us into the next generation and next innovation of energy creation.
With all the nuclear research?
For sure.
So I guess in doing what you've done for the last couple of years, where do you feel like the biggest opportunities are for the Wisconsin economy, like the opportunities for growth, and where are things turning a page?
I think one of the things that was really exciting that we saw over the course of the last couple of years was the creation of the BioHealth Tech Hub, which is a connection between Milwaukee and Madison and all the businesses that are involved in personalized medicine, which is really this idea of if you come in and you've got some illness that needs to be very targeted and very taken care of, we're going to develop through AI, Steve, the opportunity to get you the treatment that you need to get you back to your family as quickly as possible. We have companies like GE Healthcare, Exact Sciences, Epic, all involved in this and working really closely with the universities on it. I think it's a huge opportunity for Wisconsin to really make a mark about the next generation of business and how we can solve problems for folks.
Missy Hughes, our guest on Point Taken on 620 WTMJ.